Hey guys, and welcome to another guide for Season 6 League of Legends Champion, and in today's guide we'll be going over Soraka. Now Soraka is the answer to all your problems in solo queue. She is a phenomenal support, she's got great sustain, and she keeps your team alive more than what they should have. It adds an advantage to your team most definitely, and most teams with the Soraka usually win. She's got a really high winning percentage. So I'm going to show you why Soraka is so good and why you should pick her in Season 6. So our skills are as follows. Soraka's passive is Salvation. Soraka runs faster towards nearby low health allies. This is great for catching up to team fights. If they took a chunk out of someone, you can get over to them really quickly and you can heal them. So our Q is Star Call. A star falls from the sky at the target location, dealing magic damage and slowing enemies in the centre of the effect. Now this combined with your W, I'll go over W just now and explain both of them at the same time because it's more worthwhile. So our W is Astral Infusion. Soraka sacrifices a potion of her own health to heal another friendly unit. Passively heals Soraka when she lands Star Call on an enemy champion. So your Star Call heals you, your W heals your ally, although it takes a percentage of health off of you to give to your ally, of course. So this is your sustain, this is everything you want. This is a very passive champion. Other than that, you don't really want to engage fights with Soraka unless you have a team in front of you and you're in the back line. So our E is Equinox, creates a zone at a location that silences all enemies inside. When the zone expires, all enemies inside are rooted. So not only is it a silence, it's a root as well. So it's great for teams that have large AoE CC. So someone like Cunning, you throw that root down, and or a Shen to taunt them into you or away from you. You throw down that Equinox, it keeps them there. They can't flash, they can't use abilities, you know, they can't heal, they're going to be stuck there and they're going to take everything that's coming to them, and it's probably going to be a kill for your team, most certainly. So that brings us on to our R, and that is Wish. Soraka fills her allies with hope, instantly restoring health to herself and all friendly champions. Now this is a global, so it doesn't matter if they're in the top lane, it doesn't matter if they're in mid lane, it doesn't matter if they're in the jungle, it doesn't matter if they're at the enemy nexus. She's gonna heal them for a certain amount of health, and this is a fantastic ability on Soraka. Can't stress that enough, and it keeps your team alive, and it gives them a solo advantage in a team fight. And it's also important to learn when to cast this ability, because sometimes if you don't cast it right, it may cost your team a team fight or two. So the way that I would upgrade her skills, I would start my W so that you can heal your ADC if he takes any damage from pokes or any trades. If you start Krugs, it's also good to keep him alive, and you can probably get that level 2 faster than the enemy bot lane, or Grom, it doesn't matter. So I'd start W, then I'd probably go for Q so that if you get poked down you can get that health regeneration back. Then I'd take E, your Equinox. The way that I would go about it, I'd max my W first, then I'd go for E, then I'd go for A. That's because E has a more influential aspect to the bot lane and to other fights as well. So it gives the silence, it gives the root as well. So it's a lot more important than keeping yourself alive at the early stages. And by the time that you hit mid game, you'll have a few points in Star Call enemies, so you'll be able to regenerate that health as well as have some items on top of that. So you shouldn't worry about that. Of course, prioritise your R every time you've got it. So that is our skills. Our kit is really good. Sustain is the main thing with Soraka. You're a medic, you heal people, you heal yourself, you're the doctor. So the runes are as follows. So I like to take a flat page on Soraka, so I like to take 9 Mark of Armour reds, 5 seals of health and 4 seals of armour yellows, 9 magic resist blues, and 3 quintessences of armour. Anything other than this, I probably wouldn't go. The extra health is good, and you've got that availability in your seals, so I take another 4 armour on top of that. This makes sure that if you take poke from the ADC, it's not going to be as bad as what it should. Also, you've got incredibly high damage supports such as your Sona, your Brand, people like that who can really chunk you away. So it's good to have that flat magic resist on Soraka because you're very squishy. Now moving on to our masteries, I'd go 0, 18 and 12. So in Cunning I take Bandit, you gain 1 gold for each nearby minion killed by an ally, 3 gold when hitting an enemy, because you won't get that 10 because you ain't melee. Intelligence cooldown reduction cap increased to 45% and gain 5% at the start, so you can get those heals off even quicker. This is great because you're not really going to build a lot of cooldown reduction, you're not going to cap it on Soraka anyway. So you end on Windspeaker's Blessing, your heals and shields are 10% stronger. Additionally, your shields and heals on other allies increase their armor by 5 between 5 and 22 based on level, and the magic resistant by half that amount for 3 seconds. So this kind of speaks for itself. I mean, it goes hand in hand with her kit, and this should be the only mastery that you end on for Soraka, I would say. And in Resolved you end on Insight. This reduces your summoners by 15%, so this goes hand in hand with your mastery, sorry. So moving on to her build. This is a build, or the options that I would take. Now it's a very flexible build on Soraka, although I would always start Ancient Coin. This gives you mana regen as well. You don't really need the health. I would start with Refillable Potion rather than anything else. I wouldn't take your normal pots, so your secret stash, I wouldn't take them. I'd take your Refillable Potion. Although it's there to be taken, still Refillable Potion gives you the health that you need, and you already have the mana regen from your Ancient Coin, so you probably benefit a lot more from that. It's greater sustain, it's better influence on the lane. Eye of Oasis is an optional pick as well. This is a very good item on Soraka, although I'd still start with Ancient Coin and end on Talisman because I like the speed boost. I like to get into fights. I like to add to the passive as well, so you've not only got 1 speed boost in your passive, you've also got a team one, so it helps you get there faster. Spell Thieves, again, I don't think I would take this. This is more a passive orientated poke lane. If you want that extra gold, but Ancient Coin should do you even better for that, because you don't need to poke for the coin on that, and you've also got Bandit as well in your mastery. Although it is viable on Soraka, I probably wouldn't take this. Ruby Sightstone is there because it gives you the extra health, more wards, which is what you need on Soraka. Distortion Boots of Lucidity, you get your 10% cooldown, and it gives you that cooldown percentage for your summoners as well, and also gives you a speed boost, a movement boost on top of that as well, so it's really good. It goes hand in hand with our masteries and our runes as well. So always take a vision ward. There should always be one on the map. Our options are as follows: Locket, Solari. This is this ranges from being an option to core. I would always take Locket, Solari. It is a great item on her. It saves your enemies from getting burst down, and you've also got that heal as well. So if you get someone like LeBlanc, Syndra, people like that, it's really good to have. Warmog's armor, this would be probably one of the last items that you'd build on Soraka. There's much more influential items beforehand. Zz'Rot, this ranges from last item to second last. Banner Command is sort of the same aspect as well, but you'd only build these if you're struggling to control your side lanes, or you just want to go for one big push down the middle. Mikael's Crucible, now this item gets overlooked a lot, and it is key on Soraka. So if they have a lot of CC, the last thing you want is to get caught out, because it's you that's going to influence the team fights and decide who wins a team fight. So this is great for unrooting yourself, and if a key ally is rooted, although you'd probably prioritize yourself, it would be nice to use it on them as well. So you got a flexible pick on top of that. So your Zhonya is there just because in case you got someone like Zed, someone like Syndra, you know, you can Zhonya and dodge the initial burst so that you're not getting completely deleted from the fight. The AP items are there. If you go Spell Thieves, you're going to want to go AP. So the AP items that I would take on Soraka are Rabadons Deathcap, Morellonomicon, and Rylai's Crystal Scepter. But the Rylai's is probably something that I would take over the other two, although it's totally up to yourself. They're there because they're more viable on Soraka rather than other items. So the build that I would go at, this is the build I would go. I'd probably go Talisman. From Talisman I'd get Sightstone, and then into Ruby, Boots the Distortion Boots with Lucidity, Locket of Iron Solari, Mikael's Crucible, maybe Zz'Rot, or maybe Zhonya's. Those last items are going to vary on the other team comp, and you can probably make those choices yourself. So that is the build. That's what I came up with, and it works pretty well. So this has been my guide for Soraka, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it's encouraged you to play the medic. You will get a lot of good results with Soraka. She's a really good champion. So thank you for watching, guys, and I shall see you in the next one.